Today we're gonna be doing something a little different. I decided that I've never gone over, what I use in my studio and for ceramics, and I feel like sharing with you guys the essentials of the tools you'll need to start your ceramic journey will be very useful. I got a huge order from Amico. If you don't know what Amico is, it's basically a clay supply company. They have everything. Pottery wheels, they have kilns, they have glazes, they have clay, they have tools, they have equipment. I mean, like, you name it, they have it for clay at least. And it's one of my favorite brands to use. So I got a huge order. I wanted to unbox everything with you. So we're gonna go over the stuff I got and some things that are essential, some things that you could hold off on if you're just starting your journey. And yeah, just unbox a whole bunch of clay supplies with me. Let's go. First up, we got this little box here. I know it's open. I only glanced over the things. I'm gonna go over what is actually in here. Okay, let's start with this little tool right here. A tool clay tile cutter. I've actually never had one of these, but I got one because I wanted to get into making tiles, and I tried to do it the old-fashioned way, cutting a square, and that just really took forever. So I figured this will cut some time. So basically you get a slab of clay. Let's imagine some clay here. And then you go like that, and that cuts it, and then you go like that, and that cuts into a perfect square, I imagine. I'm excited to try it. I see here some underglaze pencils. These are one of my favorite little tools. It's very magical when you think about it. These, I'll show you. These are all black because that's mostly what I use. This is if you were drawing directly on your pieces. If you're an illustrator and you like to draw on ceramics, these are really amazing. They are underglaze, so it just basically black. As you see it, it goes on there and that's how it comes out. It does have like a little texture on there. So if you're looking for very exact detail line work, this is probably not gonna be your best option. If you're looking for like a very hand-drawn feel, these are perfect. You just kind of have to go over it once. These are essential. These are essential if you're an illustrator, if you like to draw on your pieces. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. This is a glaze. It says texturizer. I'm not quite sure what that means, which is why I got it. I want to see what exactly that means. I love texture. I love clay texture. I just love all types of texture. This is cone 5 to cone 6. I usually use mid-fire clay. There's 3 different types of temperatures you can fire your clay at. There's low fire, mid-fire, and high fire. High fire is cone 10 and up, and that's basically mostly your gas kilns. You can take electric kilns up to cone 10. For the life of your kiln, it's not excellent to always run your kiln at cone 10. So I usually stay around the mid-fire range. Low fire is like cone 04 to cone 06. That's like a beginner clay, not necessarily for beginners, but it's just sometimes it's not food safe if you don't put the right glaze on it. And when you're at low fire, you don't really have the number of glaze options that you have at mid-fire. This is a mid-fire glaze. I usually use stoneware, which is mid-fire clay. That is where you get the magical glaze combinations. Cone 10 also offers a lot of options, but it gets way less predictable. So that's one glaze that we have. It's a cool teal color. I'm excited to see what we get out of that. Let's move on, shall we? Okay, we have a little bottle in here. I'm not sure what it is. Bisque fix. Okay, so this is if you break a piece, if you have a crack or anything like that, after you fire it the first time, which is called bisque wear. So if your clay is like this is not fired all the way. It was fired one time. So let's say this had a crack on the bottom or had a little crack somewhere. You can use bisque fix. This is hard to say. Bisque fix to fix any of your cracks or anything like that. I love this. It's a must-have. I ran out, so I got a new one. All right. Oh, rubber latex. So I've never actually had rubber latex before. I usually use wax. So this is like if you want to avoid getting glaze on a specific part of your piece. I'm really excited to use it because it looks really satisfying. It makes a little layer of latex wherever you apply it. The glaze goes everywhere except there. This, I would say, is not essential. If you're just starting out, you're probably not gonna be reaching for this, but it is really fun and it is useful. So I will put this in the non-essential pile. We're gonna start 2 piles. Bisque, essential. I will say this, if you're not making tiles, definitely not essential. So I'll put it in the non-essential group over here. This is glaze. Obviously, this is a very specific type of glaze with texture on it, so I'm not gonna put this as essential. For glazes, I would do like primary colors as essential first. Glaze is very, very subject to your own taste and what you kind of want your effects to be on your clay. So for me, I would say all glaze is up to you. What you want to do, what effects you want, how you want it to look. Use your own discretion as to what glazes you want to use. Rubber latex, non-essential as well. And I'll do the black underglaze pencils as essential. One of them, I think you guys should at least try it and see if you like it. Let's move on. We have a box. These are non-essential for sure, but a lot of fun, needless to say. So these, I'll show you. This is a box full of these little roly things. I love them. They have textures and patterns. Look how cool. So basically when you roll this onto your clay slab, it'll have the texture. We got a whole bunch here. So just different textures that you can have to your clay. And mostly this will be easier to apply to a slab. You can do it on a base, but you might mess with the shape of it. So I would do a slab and then maybe grab that slab and then make a base out of the slab. Go crazy. These are definitely non-essential, but a lot of fun. Okay, this I kind of splurged on. Like, this is not essential at all. It's modeling clay. I'm so excited. I didn't even know Amico had this until I was on their website. This is modeling clay, so you don't need to fire it. You don't need to do anything. I have not used this ever or practiced with this at all. And I will say that it is not the same as ceramics. It's not the same as regular clay. I want to do like a whole other video of me practicing and playing around with this, and maybe we can learn together. I love this. This is basically, I guess, like kids clay, or you know what they use to make stop motion. I am obsessed with stop motion, and my dream is to make a stop motion film. This is the first step. We got the modeling clay, so I'm excited to try it out and maybe create like our first little character for a future movie that we make one day. I don't know, who knows? Okay. This kiln shelf wash. Okay, this essential. This is not interesting or fun at all, but it is essential, especially if you have a kiln. This is to cover your kiln shelves. This is basically in case the glaze that you apply on your piece melts and it gets all over your kiln. If it's properly applied and everything, all you have to do is scrape off the glaze and it should be fine. You want to take care of anything to do with your kiln. If you don't have a kiln, don't worry about it. Okay, big mama, this is clay. This color specifically, I've never had. I got a few new colors of clay, which I'm really, really excited to use. This is stoneware. Stoneware is mid-fire clay, so this is gonna fire to cone 5 to 6. This is milk chocolate. This is kind of what my clay looks like, but I'm not sure it's gonna fire the same. So we're gonna have to test this out. This is obviously essential if you're doing pottery, you need clay. I have a couple other colors I'm gonna show you that I got. If you have a new clay, if you have a new glaze, always test it out because you just have no idea how it's gonna look, how it's gonna come out from your kiln specifically. All kilns kind of fire a little bit differently. So just make sure you always fire and test your new item. Another color, dark chocolate. This is just the same thing. It is clay, stoneware, so mid-fire clay. And this is just dark chocolate, which I have used a long time ago, like literally years ago. The clay pieces that I have that come out like this dark chocolatey color, it's actually terracotta. So this is terracotta clay. This is low fire, and this was fired at a low temperature. And then this is the same clay, but fired at a higher temperature. I know this one fires really, really dark. I'm excited. I haven't tried to throw with this clay since like 2021. All clay is essential. I guess you just have to pick which color you want to go with and what vibes you're looking for. Let's see what this is. Red self-hardening clay. Oh. So this is fun if you're just starting out and you have never touched clay before and you just kind of want to practice and get your hands on some clay without the stress of finding a kiln or firing your piece. So I imagine this is gonna get hard by itself when it's exposed to air. This is very, very interesting. So this is cool because you can throw with it. Basically acts as like normal clay. You just don't have to fire it. So this is pretty cool. Like if you just want to explore pottery without all of the commitments that it takes, then I would go with a little box like this and, you know, try it out, see if you like it, and if you do want to make that commitment. Last but not least at all, my favorite, glazes. Woohoo! Look at all these glazes, and I have another box. So I'm not gonna go over every single color because I don't know how they come out because they're brand new. I ordered them specifically to try them out, but I'll show you a few. This is like a light pink. It is called Flux Blossom. Emiko has like a whole bunch of different lines. This is like a similar one, but just a light green color. So these are very similar, should have like a similar effect. These are all flux. Basically, it's gonna run more and like maybe be a little bit more unpredictable. I like to just experiment. I like to make little test tiles with my different clays, my different glazes, and then I'll take you through that just so you can see how we test these out and how we get to know what the colors are gonna do before we actually use them on an actual piece. This is very cool. This is metallic. Literally, it's gonna look like metal on your piece. And I haven't had this before, so I'm really, really excited. Can you imagine like a gold piece? That's fucking sickening. I'm gonna try them out and see how they look. And yeah, these are all just different colors. Oh, this one's really pretty. It's like a dark blue. All right, guys, so I'm gonna cut that short. I'll show you guys more extensively all of the colors that I got when I put them on the test that I make so we can actually see how they're fired and everything. So you'll see that at the end of the video. We're gonna throw with the dark chocolate. I haven't thrown in a little while, so I've been itching to get back on the wheel anyway. Brand new clay is the best clay to throw with because it's nice and soft. I still have to wedge it though. Wedging is the worst part of ceramics ever. I hate it so much. I don't hate a lot of things, but I really hate wedging. Like, dead ass, bro. It's part of the job, I guess. Looks like almost like gray charcoal. You know those kneady erasers you use when you use charcoal and stuff? That's what it looks like. It looks like just a huge kneady eraser. Sorry about that noise, guys. It was the fan. As you guys know, I'm in the garage and it's freaking hot in here. I live in Florida. Inside it's hot, outside it's hell. So pick your poison. Let's cut up this delicious looking clay. All right, look how delicious. Sometimes I don't want to wedge it because it's so perfect, but then when I don't wedge it and I'm throwing, it's awful. I have to kind of climb on my chair a little bit to make the wedging easier. This clay is a little bit dry, we'll say. This is also shaking my whole table, so the camera's shaking, sorry. Okay, let's try out this clay. guys, it's time to do our glaze test. Doing glaze tests is just like super repetitive. It has to be done. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab my slab roller. You can definitely roll out your own slabs, which is fine. It just takes a long time. The minute I got my slab roller, my life changed. It does help you a lot, and it's a tabletop. You can take it on and off of your table and you can put it anywhere. I'm gonna bring that out now. I'm gonna make a huge slab, and then we're gonna cut out the tiles to later put our glaze on. So let's get started. Oops. For ceramics, you really do be needing like muscles because everything's heavy as hell. With your slab roller, you're gonna have to get canvas. This is used so you don't roll on the clay directly because then it'll get stuck in this machinery thing. And she's all ready to go. We just have to put this through here. Through these knobs, you decide what thickness you want your clay to be. I like to start thicker and then do the actual thickness that I want. The clay really gets rolled through. It takes out like any air bubbles or anything like that. Just the more you work with it, the less air bubbles and stuff is gonna be in there. Okay, so this is a 3/8. Now we're gonna match this one. We're gonna make sure we roll this canvas. And then you open one side. You see I use this for my brown clay. And then I use the other side for my white clay. We're gonna use my original clay that I always use. It's a brown clay with no speckles. That's the clay that you guys see with most of my work. I'll show you now. This is the one I use for most of my pieces. It is a mid-fire clay. I'm gonna use that clay and I'm gonna make tests with that clay as well, just to kind of see how the new glazes work on that clay because I've never tried these glazes at all. I do need to see how they work with the clay that I always use. And then we're also gonna do tests with the new clay and the new glazes. I'm excited. It's just gonna be a lot of test tiles. So let's get started. Okay, so next step is grabbing a piece of clay. This one is milk chocolate and this one is dark chocolate. We threw with the one that was dark chocolate, so that's the one that you guys saw already. I really enjoyed how smooth it is. It's almost like a porcelain, which makes it hard to attach stuff to just because it has no grog. Grog is like this kind of rocky material. It's literally exactly what it sounds like, grog, and it makes it so the clay is stickier, more strong, and you can like build stuff with it better. It's just so hard for me to explain this. Like I've never explained it before, but okay, so the technical definition to grog is crushed unglazed pottery or brick used as an additive in plaster or in clay. Basically exactly what I said. Teapots, plates, anything like that, that's usually porcelain, which has no grog. It's like really smooth, soft clay, which is what this dark chocolate clay felt like, and I really enjoyed throwing with it. I'm excited to see. I made 2 pieces. This is such a long process. I think you can't see it until so many steps, so you just have to really keep your eye on the ball. But anyways, we have milk chocolate as well. I'm excited to see what the difference in tones is to my original clay. This looks really similar to the color of my clay out of the box. I want to compare these two and see what the colors are, what the vibes are. So we're going to be making the test now. We just have to make slabs of each clay. So that's 4 clay, 4 slabs, 30 tiles each. Yikes. And then I didn't show you guys the terracotta clay, the stone fire clay. It's on the floor. It's really heavy. We're gonna do one of that. I pretty much know how it fires. I have one already that's very similar. I do want to try this one and see how it looks because I'm not obsessed with my terracotta that I have now. So this is the clay that I use usually. It's standard 225. So you see how these two are so similar in color? I do see that this one is a little bit darker. I don't know, I'm excited to see how they fire and like what the difference is. Let's get started. All this damn yapping. Yep. New plan, you guys. I don't think I have enough of the new clay to make 30 test towels of each clay. That will also be, I think, redundant because glaze does change and behave differently on each different clay body. But most of the time, the glaze differences aren't really that drastic. And then that would take up all of my clay, all of my new clay that I really want to throw with and I really want to use it. So I will use my original clay to make all the glaze tests of the new glazes. We will still see how the new glazes look. We'll just take that new information and take it with a grain of salt. When we apply it to any new clay body, we'll just remember that it might differ slightly. And that makes me feel a lot better because now I don't have to do like 90 glaze tests. I only have to do like 30. Do you guys hear that? I hope you guys hear that. Like, I really hope you hear it because it sounds so good. I love it.
So these are the slabs I rolled out from the slab roller, and I accidentally let these air out a little too much, and now they were a little dry when I was trying to use the clay rollers. I haven't used clay rollers since college, so it's been a while, and it is a lot better when the clay is more moist. You will see a lot more texture, so that was just my bad. I did a couple things wrong during this video. One of those things I will talk about later, but letting the clay get a little too hard for these clay texture rollers was mistake number one. So it was a little tough, but at the end of the day, got it done. It is better that the clay was dry because the tiles warp a lot less. When they're more wet, they obviously move and warp the more you touch them. So it was good that they were dry. It was just hard with the clay rollers. So I did get a lot of texture on some pieces and then not so much texture on others, but it's fine. At the end of the day, we're just gonna see how the colors look. So it's fine. Just keep that in mind when you make your own slabs. We have to wait for these to get completely dry in order to put them in the kiln. Once they were completely dry, we filled the kiln up with all of our dry pieces, and this is gonna go for a bisque fire. A bisque fire is essentially the first fire that you do with your clay pieces. It's not the final firing. It's just basically hardening your clay, so now your clay is kind of set in stone, but it is not completely done. So at this stage, you can sand your pieces, you glaze your pieces, and all of that stuff, but it's not completely done yet. So you still have one more firing after this, which is the glaze fire, which is the most exciting fire because that's when you get your final product and you see all the glaze colors and you see all that good stuff that you're waiting for so long.
Hola, muñequitas. We are finally doing some glazing today. We've got our tests out of the kiln. They have been bisque, and these are all the glazes that we have to test. It's quite a bit of glazes. That just means that when we open the kiln, there's gonna be so many beautiful colors and we're gonna get to see all of that. I'm really excited. Basically, all we have to do is cover each square, just the front, do 2 to 3 coats. I like to see the consistency of the glaze. If the glaze is a little bit thicker, I'll do just 2 coats. And if the glaze is a little bit thinner, I'll do 3. We're gonna write it down here just to have this as backup with our underglaze pencil, the one I showed you guys earlier. We're gonna write the number of the glaze on the back of the tile so we know which one it is. But I'm also gonna number them 1 through, I think it's almost 30. And I'll write it down on my notebook. You just want to make sure that you have all this information accurately input into somewhere else as well, just for backup. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's get started. I'm not gonna do this in any particular order. I'm just gonna grab a color and go. Red is one of my favorite colors, so Let's start with this one. It's called Cayenne. It looks really thick. You want to make sure you always shake your glazes really, really well. I don't think there's nothing in ceramics that isn't a full body workout. I think that's good enough. You're gonna want to have some water to wash your brushes, some sponges to sponge everything off. This is a pretty matte color. The ones with the most texture, like this test out, I will use with different glazes. Like this one, it's supposed to have a little bit of an effect with raised texture. So we'll do that for the more textured tests. We'll just use a flatter test out for the matte ones, because the matte, nothing happens if you do it over texture. It just kind of looks flat. Ooh, I love glaze. It looks like I want to eat it. Let's write this down first. Okay, we're gonna use this test out. It's pretty flat. On the back, number 1. That's not the number on here, but it's gonna be the number on my book, and I'm just gonna write 1 through 30, and then I'm gonna, you know, do it like that. And then I'm gonna put the name. I will say that writing with these gives me that, like grinding your teeth feeling. I'm using my little notebook. These are available on my website if you guys want to get one. I definitely want to get to the point where I can make my own sketchbook. Like, I'm just so excited for that. It's my dream. But for now, we have our little notebook. I'm gonna write number 1, Cayenne. Okay, now we can finally glaze. But first, a matcha. Oh, you guys thought I didn't have matcha? That's crazy. Let's get to business. Let's get to freaking business. This one's pretty thick, so I'm just gonna do 2 coats of that. Try not to get it on the edges too much. You don't know if maybe perhaps this glaze drips. I doubt it. This is a matte glaze, but we still just want to be safe. And you want to wait for that coat to dry, and it dries really fast. Like, this is gonna dry in like 10 seconds. You see, we can literally watch it dry in real time. It's so fast. Okay, while this dries, we'll do number 2, Albany Slip Brown. Wow, this one looks really fun. Oh, I'm so excited to get the kiln load of all of these done. And then we could use them on all of the new pieces. Okay, let's do a very textured piece. This one, we'll write it down. All right, time for the second coat. This one's completely dry. So we go in for 1 more coat. Okay, and that's that. So then we have to do that like 30 times. No big deal. I'm gonna put a little show on and glaze.
One thing about me is I'm gonna watch a show when I work. I don't know why. I rather escape into a show than to listen to music. I think music gives my head way too much space to overthink, and it makes me anxious because I'm like in my head all day. Instead, like with a show on, I kind of just get lost into another world, and I enjoy that a lot. So I love to like do my work and just put on a show and get lost. I don't know what that's about. Just escapism, I guess. But I did want to mention mistake number 2, which I think I mentioned later on in the video as well, but I did not do enough coats on these glaze tests. I should have done 3 coats where most of them I did 2. But given that these are glaze tests, I really should have sprung for the 3 coats, just because that would have given me more accurate information on what the glazes look like applied properly. So that is my mistake, my bad. I really wish I could go back and do it again. I just wanted to let you guys know. So if you're running any glaze tests, make sure you do 3 coats. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, I want to show you guys real quick why you have to do a glaze test. So look at this glaze and look at the color it's supposed to come out once it's fired. And look at the color that it actually is in the bottle. It's purple. So that's why it's so important to do glaze tests. You just don't know how this is gonna actually look unless you fire it and put it on your clay body and see the end result. I'm almost done here, and then finally we'll put them in the kiln, and hopefully before the end of the week we will have our glaze test. But let me get back to you once I'm done. We're almost done here, so. All right, guys, we are done. These are all the glaze tests. I'm so excited to see how they come out. It was like 27. I did a couple more where I mixed some glazes together to see how they come out. So I'm excited. Next stop, we just put them in the kiln. Okay, so I finished glazing that. And now I'm gonna glaze a few pieces, just regular glazes, none of these cool new ones, just because we still don't know what they look like. After I finish glazing everything that I have, we can put these in the kiln. So I'm gonna try to finish them by tomorrow, I hope. I finally finished glazing all of the pieces that I had to glaze so we can put everything in the kiln, because I can't just put the tests in the kiln, because firing the kiln with such little things in there, it affects the way that the glaze looks, and it affects how the heat travels through the kiln, pretty much, something along those lines. I don't really know how to explain it well, so we're finally gonna see the results tomorrow. But yeah, let's put them in the kiln. I'll show you guys everything that I'm putting in the kiln, by the way. So starting with this cutie, I'm so excited to put her in the kiln finally. I made her literally the last collection, and she's been sitting on the shelf, and I just haven't gotten around to glazing her, but I finally did. I was putting it off for a while because, okay, so you see how her hair is curly? That was a big mistake. I'm never doing that again, but essentially like getting in between each hair was literally a nightmare. It's best to do the hair as a whole so you don't have to go in between all these cracks and stuff. So I learned that for next time, but I finally did it and I'm so excited to see how she comes out. First one going in. Next up is all of our glaze tests, finally. Now we can't stack them because they have glaze on them, so if we stack them, they'll all get stuck together. It just takes up a lot of space because I have to put them there individually, which kind of sucks. This is a custom. It's a big version of a mini cup I made. And then this is a little thing I made also last collection that I never got around to glazing. We'll see. Maybe I keep her, maybe not. Another custom and another custom. I'm finally done with all my customs, hopefully, if they all come out good. So I'm praying. I need to buy more of these. These are little stilts, but sometimes they melt. So you see how there's glaze right here and right here. This is the same level, and that was my bad. So I didn't want this whole space to be unglazed, which would have been the smart thing to do, but I just thought it looked too open. So I glazed it here a little bit. So it means that I need to raise it from the kiln shelf so it doesn't get stuck. And usually you do that with these little things, but this one has a melted end, so I just need to buy more of them because that tends to happen. So now I'm like stuck with these, but it's harder to balance it on there. Ooh, there you go. That was easy enough. Another custom. This one's really cute. I can't wait to see her glazed. And a little kitty that goes with a cup. That's also a custom. See, this one has like a raised bottom, so I don't have to worry about that. Another custom, and then, oh, actually this one isn't a custom. This was a backup in case this one cracked, but this one ended up cracking inside
the extra one did, and the original one is just fine. So happy about that. Another custom and another custom, and these go interlocked together. This one's gonna be pink, I believe, and this one's gonna be black. So guys, this is one made with the new clay that we got, and I put this pink lava glaze that comes out all textured-y, bubbly, and we are still not sure what color this clay comes out. So I'm excited to find out what happens with this one. I also made another one with this clay, so we'll see. There's another custom. She's so cute. I love her. This one is also with the new clay. Yes, we have a little crown, which I've never made before. This was a lot harder than I expected it to be. It was really quite annoying actually to make this crown. Nevertheless, I'm excited to see how it looks. It's gold, and this is one of the new glazes that I got from Amico. And then we have this piece. She was made as an extra as well. And then this extra also cracked. She was an extra to this one in case this one cracked, but this one came out great, and then the other one cracked. So all the extras cracked, which is so funny. This one, this is an old piece. It's already glazed, but I added eyebrows, so we're just glazing the eyebrows basically. All right guys, it's all going in there. This is a glaze firing, so it's very exciting. We're gonna have a whole new set of pieces tomorrow. Say goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow as I unpack the kiln. Hopefully good news only. Pray to our kiln gods. Send good vibes. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good morning, muñequitas. It's time to open this kiln. I took a peek already, I'm not gonna lie, but I haven't taken anything out, so I don't really know. Okay, let's open it up. Let's see. Ooh, this gold is really cool. I think this one needs more coats. It's a little bit thin, but I like how light the pink came out, and her cheeks are so cute. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Okay, she's my favorite so far. Whoa, this is the clay that we got. I love it. It's so rich. I love the color contrast here. I hate that this kind of did that right there, but the little swirlies came off really cute. The cheeks, so cute. Whoa, I love the contrast between the pink. But this was supposed to have way more texture. I think I didn't put enough coats on it, so that's my bad. I could run it again and add more coats, which I think I'm gonna do. But it's supposed to look like lava, and I think I just didn't put enough. But this clay is so nice. Oh my gosh. Whoa, these colors are amazing. Oh my gosh. Her eyeshadow came out so nice. I love how light the eyeshadow came out. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. This pink came out really, really yummy. Oh, her curls came out so good. Oh, you can see it so well on this one. Ooh, she's cute too. Cute. She goes with the crown, you guys. Moment of truth. It doesn't fit. Ugh, I hate my life. Wow. I'm literally gonna cry. Oh, so cool. I don't know what colors I used for this one. That's really cool. Here's the little cat. What the hell? What the hell is that? Ooh. my god, this came out a lot better than I anticipated. This really did come out a lot better than I thought it was gonna. Ooh, her tattoo came out cool. Oh wow, this was really cool. That's everything out the kiln. I'm really happy how they came out. I think most of them look pretty good. The glazes came out really, really nice. We're gonna see what the glaze tests look like now. I'm gonna pull out all the glazes so we can compare. So far, so good, guys. What do you think? Do they look good? I really love how the little one came out, and all of these, the curls came out so good. This is so much harder to do than it looks. You have to be really precise, and you can't get it anywhere else. I had to do that for all of these. I'm just really happy with the way it came out. The blush, I tried something new. I mixed the red with a little bit of white to make it more pink and powdery, and it came out super nice, super matte. I don't know. I think maybe I did too much on the blush, but it looks good. So let's go over the glaze test. I think that will be it for now. Let's see. Let's find each one and go over it. This one's oatmeal. Is this oatmeal? Okay, this one's oatmeal. So oatmeal, look at this. You would think it was more yellow, but it has more of like this off-white color, and I really like how it feels. It's like satiny and matte. It's really nice. It's just not what I expected. That's why these are so valuable. Always do tests. But I really like this color. I just would have used it thinking I was gonna get yellow, and this is a little bit more like white eggshelly color, so that's good to know. River Birch, I think this is this one. Yep. Okay, so this one's pretty accurate to the picture. I'm sure like on a big vase it'll drip more and have more of the little freckled effect. That's pretty cool. I like the light pink color that it is. It's like a really dusty like pink. Okay, this one, Tomoku. This one's cool. I think it's this one. This one's kind of to be expected, and I really like the texture of it. I wish you guys can feel that. That's so cool. Look at this. It's brown and it has tan speckles. I don't know what I would use that for. I really like this one. And this one is one of my favorites. It's black, but it has this blue tinge to it. I wonder which one that is. This Sapphire Float is this. It's more of a black with blue accents to it than it is a sapphire blue all around. But I love it, and now it's one of my new favorites. This one is this one. I really like this blue. It's a nice jean color too. I like to think of my blues as jeans. I don't know why. Like if I had jeans, this color would be so nice. These are also very matte, which I really love. I love when glazes are more of a matte vibe. Matte. Girl, that's not even a word. This one I really love. Okay, let's continue. Midnight Run. This one's nice. You see the like, does that look like that? I don't know, but it's beautiful. Albany Slip Brown. I think that was this one. Yes, and this one's one of my favorites. You can see like how much the texture gets defined in this one. I love it. This one's pretty accurate as well. It's like more on the darker side, but you do have that very similar effect. Honey Flux. Here it is.
This, I think it's more meant to be mixed with other glazes so you can get an effect. It increases flow over glazes. So if you want your glazes to flow together, you put like 1 or 2 coats of this, and then it'll make it run more and mix together the colors. So I'm excited to try that. But just as a glaze by itself, this is what it looks like. Iron luster. I really like this brown. I feel like this brown mixed with another color. I've been trying to get an orange by mixing 2 glazes together, and I think this is gonna be a good color to mix another like redder color with. I wonder what these 2 would look like even mixed together. I really like this color. This is iron luster. I would say that it is nothing like this. It's supposed to be blue. I don't know if maybe I just need to put more coats on it. Oh, okay. It says it benefits from a heavier application. So I definitely should have added way more glaze. I think that's only two coats. Should have done more. Moss mint. Oh, here it is. This one definitely needs more coats. You see how you can see through to clay? That's because it's not thick enough. I didn't apply enough coats. I'm not too crazy about this one. It is pretty similar to the picture though, I will say. I just think that this is a white clay that they used, so it looks more lighter than this. Ew, this one did come out pretty accurate to the picture. So this one is called Deep Olive Speckle, and it's pretty spot on. So I love that, and I really like the color too. It's really hot in here, you guys, so if you see me sweating, don't mind me. It's just really hot in here. If you've never experienced summer in Florida, you don't know how hot it gets here. It feels like, you know how like in the winter people don't go outside because it's so cold? We don't ever experience that, but in the summer, it's so hot outside that we don't go outside. Summer is like our winter where we just stay inside because it's so freaking hot. Okay, gold. This is the gold we used on the crown, which I will say I love how it looks like aged. I love that. I think maybe if I did more coats, it would be a little bit more gold. I also have a test here where it's like pretty gold. But I think it looks even better on the crown than it does on here. So we're almost done, you guys. Okay, June bug. This one has this metallic-y effect kind of on here. And I will say that this was not achieved. Maybe I didn't apply enough. It does not break over texture, but okay, I see the dots a little bit if you look closer. I like how it's like a swampy color. I feel like I'll be using this for something. I want to do like a swamp inspired something. I definitely want to make an alligator. Like I've been wanting to make an alligator crocodile type animal out of clay, and I'll definitely film that. Okay. This is Blue Midnight. This one's basically black. Look at it. Okay, this one also says it benefits from a heavier application, so I have to add more coats, I guess. I think I used this a couple of times on my pieces, and I will say it's not that saturated. I should have figured because it's a flow. When it says that, I think it's like just more flowy. So it's not so saturated. It is pretty similar to the picture though, I will say. Saturation metallic. I think that's this one. It does have that metallic effect, I will say that. I don't know if I like it. I also don't know how into metallics I am. I don't like the reflection so much, but it is pretty cool. I don't know. I would like to use it on like little details, but possibly not like a whole entire piece. Blue green. This one, yes. This one is pretty spot on. It's called blue green, and I would say that's a pretty good blue green color. Vintage gold. See, like what? So this is vintage gold. I think maybe I should apply more coats. This is definitely, there's no gold anywhere, but I like how it looks. So I know if I wanted to achieve this again, I just have to go light on the coats. Ironstone. This is one of my favorite colors. I know you can't see it, but it's kind of like a deep purple, but it's this one, Ironstone, and this one kind of has like a greenish, yellowish picture. It also says it benefits from a heavier application. Ah! I wish I would have read them. I didn't read. I just applied 2 coats to everything because it's the quickest thing, but I should have applied 4 so I could really see the colors, but whatever. It's gonna be more surprises when I use them for real and then it literally comes out a whole different color. This is the texturizer that I used. Ooh, I could see the texturizer working here. This one, I did the texturizer plus another color. You could see how it's matte and full of texture. So that's what this one does. It adds texture to whatever you're using. Honeydew. This one is really nice over texture. Do you see it? It's pretty spot on as well. I really like this one over texture. It looks really nice. Purple Crystal is one of my favorites and it's pretty spot on. I really like the way this feels, you guys. It's super soft. This one's Cayenne. This one definitely needs more coats, so that's on me, but I like the color of red it is. I just know I have to apply way thicker coats. And we have Flux Bottom over here, Flux Blossom. This one's pretty spot on. It's just that I have to apply way thicker coats, but it's like a light pink, and so is this. Most of them are pretty accurate, and then the ones that are not are because I didn't apply thick enough coats. There are some that are like kind of like, whoa, that doesn't look anything like the bottle, but I think it's my fault. So, texturizer plus purple. Wait, 21 plus 22. I need my notebook. Oh my god, you guys. Okay. This is so cool. I was wondering what glaze this was. It's like blue with like gold peeking out. And it's this purple mixed with this texturizer. So I mixed these two. I did 1 coat of the texturizer and 2 coats of the purple. And this came out. It's like a blue. See, you just never know what the hell is gonna happen. And these are all ones that I mixed together. And that's it. That's literally it. Alright guys, I know it's a lot of yapping, and if you're not into ceramics, it's kind of like a nerdy ceramics video, learning a little bit more about ceramics and glazes, my process, and how I glaze these pieces. Shout out to Amico for all these amazing glazes and all the clay supplies that we unboxed in this video. I am so excited to use everything and to actually put it into my work. Everyone who watched, this was more of a ceramics focused video. If you have any more ceramics questions, make sure to comment them and I can make a whole video on it. I'm not an expert, but I have been doing this for like 6 years. Thank you guys for watching. If you like any of my muñequita shirts that I was wearing throughout the whole video, check out my website because I have all of them set for pre-order. Make sure you like, comment, or subscribe. No, make sure you do all 3 of those things actually, not or. Alright, muñequitas, I love you so much and I'll see you next time. Bye!